The rain fell hard that evening, drumming against the dusty glass windows of Daisy's Diner, a small roadside eatery that had seen better days. Inside, the smell of freshly brewed coffee mixed with the faint scent of fried bacon and the flickering neon sign outside gave the place a warm glow against the storm. Behind the counter, Clara Evans, a 27-year-old waitress with tired eyes but a hopeful heart, balanced 3 plates of burgers in her hands, smiling through the exhaustion that came from working double shifts 6 days a week. She had been at Daisy's for almost 5 years. Not because it paid well, but because she needed every dollar to take care of her 6-year-old son Ely. Clara wasn't the kind of woman who complained. Life had never been kind to her. Her husband had left when Eli was just a baby, and her parents had passed years ago. But she always believed that kindness could change even the hardest days. She worked quietly, humbly, always wearing that soft smile that made people feel seen. But that night, everything would change. Before we dive into this powerful story of courage, kindness, and redemption, don't forget to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Kindness Universe for more inspiring true stories that touch the heart. The bell above the diner door rang sharply. A group of 6 bikers entered, drenched from the rain, their leather jackets dripping and boots thudding against the tiled floor. The air in the diner shifted immediately. Conversations hushed, forks paused mid-air, and Daisy herself, the diner's owner, gave a long, worried look from the kitchen window. The bikers looked rough, long beards, tattoos, heavy jackets with Iron Brothers patched on the back. They weren't the kind of customers that small, town diners welcomed with open arms. Most people avoided them out of fear or judgment, assuming they were trouble. But Clara, wiping her hands on her apron, walked right up to them with that same gentle smile. "Good evening, folks. Welcome to Daisy's. Can I get you something hot to eat?" she asked kindly. One of the men, a broad-shouldered guy with kind eyes hidden behind a rough beard, nodded. "Coffee and something warm." "Been a long ride." Clara nodded and hurried to take their orders, ignoring the glares from other diners. A group of regulars in the corner whispered something about dangerous types. And even Daisy came out from the kitchen, lowering her voice as she scolded Clara. "Why are you serving them? They'll scare away the good customers," she hissed. "They're customers too," Clara replied quietly. "They're cold and tired. Everyone deserves kindness." Daisy frowned, shaking her head. "You'll regret that, Clara." But Clara continued to serve them, with warmth, with a smile, with respect. She poured their coffee, brought them hot food, and even offered extra napkins when one of them sneezed from the cold. They laughed, thanked her, and for a moment, the tension in the room faded. When they were done, one of the bikers left a 100 bill under the cup, far more than their meal cost, with a small note scribbled on a napkin. "Thanks for not judging us." But Daisy saw it differently. As soon as they left, she stormed out, waving the bill in the air. "Clara, are you kidding me? You served those people and now you're taking dirty money." Clara blinked, stunned. "It's just a tip, Daisy. They were kind." "I don't care!" Daisy shouted. "They could bring trouble to this place. You disobeyed me in front of everyone. Pack your things. You're fired." The diner fell silent. Every customer turned to look. Clara's heart sank as she looked down at the wet floor, her hands trembling. "Please, Daisy, I need this job. My son." "I said you're done," Daisy barked, slamming the register drawer shut. Clara stood there for a moment, fighting back tears, then quietly untied her apron and walked out into the rain. That night, the rain didn't stop. Clara sat in her small apartment's kitchen, staring at the bills spread across the table. Rent, electricity, Ely's school fees. Ely came out of his room, rubbing his sleepy eyes. "Mommy, why are you crying?" he asked softly. Clara quickly wiped her cheeks and forced a smile. "I'm not crying, sweetheart, just tired." He climbed onto her lap, wrapping his little arms around her neck. "It's okay, Mommy. You always make everything better." Her heart broke and healed at the same time. She kissed his forehead and whispered, "I'll find a way, baby. I always do." The next morning, she went from place to place looking for work. Gas stations, diners, grocery stores, but no one was hiring. Her savings could last maybe a week, 2 at most. The world felt heavy, and the kindness she believed in so deeply felt like it had cost her everything. The following afternoon, a deep rumble echoed outside her apartment building, the unmistakable sound of motorcycle engines. Clara peeked out the window and froze. 6 bikers stood there, their jackets dripping again, the same ones from Daisy's diner. Her heart raced. Were they here because of something that happened at the diner? She stepped outside cautiously, clutching her worn sweater. The leader, the man with the kind eyes, smiled gently. "Hey, Clara, right? We heard what happened." Clara frowned, confused. "How did you?" "Someone posted about it on the town's community page," he said. "About how you got fired for being kind to us." She lowered her gaze. "I didn't mean to cause trouble." The man shook his head. "You didn't cause trouble. You showed respect when no one else did." He reached into his jacket and pulled out an envelope. "We wanted to thank you, properly this time." Clara hesitated, but he placed it gently in her hands. Inside was a check for 10,000 and a note that said, "From people who never forgot what kindness feels like." She stared at it in disbelief. I can't take this," she stammered. The man smiled softly. "You already earned it. And besides, we own a chain of roadside diners across 3 states. If you're looking for a job, we'd be honored to have you manage one." Clara's eyes filled with tears. "You're serious?" He nodded. "You believed in kindness when everyone else saw fear. The world needs more people like that." The story spread across town like wildfire. Local papers ran headlines. "Waitress fired for kindness gets hired by biker company." Daisy's diner lost customers. People stopped going after hearing how Clara had been treated. And Clara, she started working at one of the bikers' diners, now renovated with a warm, family-friendly touch. Every morning she'd walk in, see her name on a small plate near the door. Clara's Corner, where kindness is served daily, and feel that spark of hope all over again. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to Kindness Universe for more inspiring real-life stories that prove kindness always finds its way back. Months later, Daisy came to visit. She stood awkwardly at the counter while Clara poured her coffee. I wanted to apologize," Daisy said quietly. "I was wrong. You were right about those men." "About kindness," Clara smiled softly. "It's okay, Daisy, we all learn in our own time." As Daisy left, she paused and looked back at the diner's sign glowing under the morning sun. Clara watched her go, her heart full, not of pride, but of peace. Because kindness had come full circle, and sometimes the very act that costs you everything becomes the one that changes your life forever.